A money tracking app encourages children to be more independent with their own money. Instead of constantly asking parents for money, can I have this, can I have that, they can see how much is available. And then they can make their own decisions about how they want to spend that money. This can really empower your child with a sense of responsibility and self-reliance. Welcome to Epic Mom Life. I am your host, Kara Peterson. This show is sponsored by The Possum's Tale, a unique book adventure for your 6 to 12-year-old child. Let's jump into today's show. Money, 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 money. No, I know I'm a bad singer, but today we are talking about money. More specifically, we are going to use a money managing app for kids to teach financial responsibility. I'm including a spreadsheet I designed. I took a long time on this spreadsheet, so I want lots of comments about how wonderful it is. I researched 7 apps and I did a comparison of their features. So money, with so many people who are struggling and they have debt and financial insecurity, it's crucial that we equip our young people with knowledge and skills that they need to manage their money wisely. Fortunately, because kids love the digital age, there are many great apps available that can help you teach your kids about finance in a fun and engaging way. Let's start with the why. Why should parents educate their children in personal money management? Well, sometimes statistics say it best. Our adult population. In 2021, Americans reported losing an average of $1,389 because of a lack of personal finance knowledge. Sometimes what you don't know can hurt you. Number 2, in 2019, 60% of U.S. adults had credit card debt. Number 3, Americans owe over $800 billion in credit card debt as of the first quarter in 2022. And number 4, 42% of adults worry about meeting their daily expenses as of 2020. 40% were concerned about their financial status, while 37% said they were barely getting by financially. Our teens. In 2021, 75% of teens report learning about personal finance from their parents. 52% of the teens learn from the schools, and this is the one that really perplexes me. 42% say they learned from social media. I don't even know how that works. Number 2, 32% of teens don't know the difference between a credit card and a debit card. Number 3, 73% of teens reported wanting more personal finance education in 2021. So even if they're getting whatever kind of knowledge they get out on social media or in the schools, and I will tell you, my youngest signed up for a personal finance class with his school. It was all about life insurance. It didn't say that when you have a credit card debt, it compounds. It didn't talk about anything. So I'm glad that the kids want more. Let's give them more. Why should I use a money tracking app? Money managing is a crucial life skill, and it's never too young to start teaching children about financial responsibility. Here are some advantages and lessons learned in using a money tracking app. It helps children understand the value of money. When children receive an allowance, they learn to associate work and effort with money. I highly recommend you read the pros and cons to an allowance. By using a money tracking app, children can see how much they've earned, how much they have saved, and how much they have spent. This helps them understand the value of money and how to use it wisely. Number 2, it teaches financial responsibility. A money tracking app can teach children about budgeting and saving. With the app, children can set goals for something that they really want, and then they can track their progress. This teaches them the importance of saving so that they start to develop good financial habits. 3, this provides transparency. Using a money tracking app provides transparency for both parents and children. Parents can see how much their children are earning, saving, and spending, while children can see how much they have left to spend. This helps prevent arguments about misunderstandings about money. 4, this is one of my favorite reasons. It encourages independence. A money tracking app encourages children to be more independent with their own money. Instead of constantly asking parents for money, can I have this, can I have that, they can see how much is available. And then they can make their own decisions about how they want to spend that money. This can really empower your child with a sense of responsibility and self-reliance. 5, provides a safe and secure way to manage money. A money tracking app provides a safe and secure way for children to manage their money. They don't need to carry cash around, and they can't lose or misplace the money. This can provide parents with a peace of mind and help children feel more confident. Overall, using an allowance and money tracking app for kids is an effective way to teach children about financial responsibility and develop good money habits. It provides transparency, encourages independence, provides a safe and secure way to manage money. But what should you look for in a money tracking app? When choosing an allowance and money tracking app for kids, it's important to consider the features that will help children learn about financial responsibility and manage their money effectively. Here are some features that are important to have in an app that's for kids. Now, I want to preface this whole thing with, I started this article assuming that you would also be using it for allowance. If you aren't going to give your children allowance, there's reasons why you shouldn't. That's why I said to read that article on the pros and cons to allowance. Allowance does make it much easier to teach a lot of these lessons, which is why I'm addressing this one as if that's a foregone conclusion. You can definitely use these apps without also having an allowance as part of it. So, number 1, allowance management. The app should allow parents to set up and manage allowances for their children. This includes setting the amount of allowance, the frequency of payments, and any chores or tasks that need to be completed to earn the allowance. Some of the apps specialize in allowances. Because they specialize in allowances, the whole allowance feature is much more robust. For example, you can do reward systems, whether it's like stickers or it's going to the ice cream, like they have to earn a certain amount to go out for ice cream or whatever it is that you set up. It's much more robust in that. Whereas a lot of the programs that have a little bit of everything, they usually have more developed in the investment part and the banking part and that kind of thing. So that's why I did the spreadsheet, so that you could see how all of those really work out. Number 2, budgeting tools. The app should have tools that help the children create and manage budgets. This includes the ability to set savings goals, create spending categories, and track expenses. You'll have to look carefully at this feature in each app that you are interested in, because this is really done differently, and many say they do this, while what they really do, especially in the savings, is they allow you to round up on purchases or save 1% on their credit card. To me, that's not really a savings plan. But that was the savings plan of one of the cards I looked at. 3, parental oversight. Parents should be able to monitor their children's spending and savings activity within the app. It's not that I am a control freak. At first, I didn't think this was a good idea. However, most of these apps also allow you to have a debit card, so the child learns how to use a debit card associated with their account. Well, that leads to so many questions like, well, what if they spend over, or those kind of things? Well, the parents can help guide them and monitor that, so you don't have to monitor what they're buying, but you might want to help them in how that works. So it also includes the ability to set spending limits, approve or deny purchases, and receive alerts when your child makes a purchase. The other thing that it does is there were some of your apps that actually allow you to block certain kinds of purchases. Like if you have a kiddo that's going to go online and buy, and if you're one of these people that love online gaming, But I swear you can buy pretend wheat that doesn't exist and you can pay for this for your village. Those kind of things drive me crazy. I'm like, go out, meet some real friends and have some ice cream, but pay for some real ice cream. And I know that I don't live in the world that everybody else lives in, but if that were an issue. Or adult bookstores. You can get a hold of adult bookstores online now. Well, you can block certain categories and certain things, and some of the cards allow you to do that categorically. You also need to know that there is a difference between alerts and a shared account where you would check in. So push notifications, alerts, and a shared account. All of those will say parental controls, but you need to investigate that to know which one you're actually getting and what your comfort level is, because none of those are necessarily bad. You just have to be comfortable with it. 4, educational resources. The app should provide educational resources that teach your child about financial concepts like saving, budgeting, and investing. A lot of them have gamified this, so there's like quizzes or videos, that kind of thing. And I think there were only 2 or 3 that had those things within the app itself. If your kiddo has a smartphone, and that's where almost all these apps are, so we're kind of assuming they have a phone. Some of them also do desktop though, okay? But usually kids are on their phone and they're looking and they're going to play a quiz on their phone. So it's helpful if it's within the phone. Some of them do have the education, but you have to go to the website. That creates another step. So depending on how driven your child is, depends on if that will work or not for you. 5, ease of use. Okay, I am the first person to put my hand up. If it doesn't have an attractive platform face, and if it isn't like drag and drop and really easy, I won't be able to figure it out. So you're going to want one that children can use, so it's really user-friendly. It has a great, easy interface, and it's a simple navigation. It should also be visually appealing to children, and it should hold their interest. So if you get, I think there's one that I didn't evaluate called Piggy Bank. It's great for like 4 and 5-year-olds. I think the pig makes noises and stuff. That might be really annoying for you. That might actually be why I didn't evaluate it. But kids that age, they love that. Security. The app should have robust security features to protect your children's financial and personal information. This includes encryption of sensitive data, 2-factor authentication, and regular updates to address security vulnerabilities. And then accessibility. The app should be accessible on multiple devices and platforms because your child may be on a tablet, or they may be on a smartphone, or you may have a desktop. Overall, a budgeting app for kids should be designed with the specific needs of children in mind, providing them with tools and resources that they need to learn financial responsibility and manage their money effectively. I looked at many allowance and money managing apps. It was hard to remember which one did what, so I created a lovely spreadsheet for you. This lists the features that are important, the extras, the price, and the platform. Go get this in the description note. The digital apps that I looked at that are in this spreadsheet are Bankaroo. Oh my heck, I really love this one. So I started all of this research in October, and right now when I'm filming this, it's February. So I really loved Bankaroo, and then I discovered when I went to go do all of my links and everything this last week that they are ending service this coming October. So no Bankaroo for you. Busy Kid. This is one of the most complete allowance and money managing apps that I found, and I really did like this one. Current. This one offers a lot, but I could not easily tell which features are in the base plan and which features are in the premium plan. That didn't make me super happy. FamZoo. FamZoo is just fab. A great overall allowance and money managing app. GoHenry. GoHenry is a stellar option. However, from what I could tell, and you'll see this in the pricing, it does it per child. It does not have a family option, where almost every single app I looked at, the price you pay monthly includes up to 5 people. iAllowance. This is a fun app. You do not have to pay monthly. It is a very low, like at the time I looked at it, I think it was $2.99, a very low one-time payment. But all it does is allowance. It is not a money managing or learning budgeting or saving app, but it does allowance, and it does allowance very well. Rooster Money. In October, Rooster Money was one of my favorites. However, I also looked up this one to do the link, and they are no longer taking anyone outside of the UK. Step. Step is interesting because one of the unusual things about Step compared to all the other ones is it can transfer things in Bitcoin or cryptocurrency, and it's a credit card. It appeals to the teens. It's about credit building. It also allows investing, and I'm assuming it has education with Bitcoin, but I cannot be positive about that. I love the idea of teaching our children financial responsibility with an allowance. When they are young, I would have them on iAllowance because your child needs to learn the basics of using an app. They need to tie how to do that with chores, and then you want them to see how doing work and using the app, seeing the money and how it goes into the bank and how it goes out of the bank. iAllowance is perfect for that. It's great for young kids, and it's got a good interface. As the children age, I would then transfer them out of iAllowance, and they're ready like at 8 or 9 to start learning about budgeting and saving and investing and all of that. And I would head for an app like BusyKid or FamZoo. So as the child grows in their financial literacy, they learn the basics like investing, saving, and giving, because a lot of them also had giving opportunities. Someday, Abu, things are going to change. We'll be rich, live in a palace, and never have any problems at all. Aladdin. If you are hearing this message, you've listened to the entire episode, and for that, I want to send you a huge thank you. Please leave me a comment or review and share with other moms you know. Get in touch in the comments or on Kara's social media networks. See you next week.